Asbestos is a known carcinogen, and there's no safe level of exposure.
Mesothelioma is a miserable disease.
They must fight a truly global battle.
We want to demonstrate our enormous respect.
Keep up the good work. I look forward to the day when ADAO is no longer needed.
Fix it. Fix it. Everything in the world can be fixed.
Our next speaker is Ann Samuelson. Ann is a volunteer with ADAO. It's her first opportunity, I believe, to speak at one of our conferences, and comes from a family that also has been touched by mesothelioma. So Ann, if you would come up here.
So hopefully this next slide comes up. First of all, I wanted to say thank you to all the good doctors that spoke before me. It gives us hope. I refer to those kind of people as the certified smart guys. So they're tough acts to follow, but I'm going to give it my best shot. So my first point, and occasionally I have one, is where do you place your voice? You know, we have choices about where to do that, and so you have to identify what your why is. My why about ADAO is that it's home. It's home for me. My dad, Stan Grimberg, union plumber at a local 290, plumbers and fitters, and there's a reason I'm mentioning those guys, because I'm going to be coming to them. And we're going to start engaging labor, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But he lost his battle with mesothelioma on June 6, 1982. So that was almost 30 years ago. And I just have to say, we're still having the conversation. This is crazy that we're still having the conversation, or better yet, I could say we're finally having the conversation. Because I was talking to myself a lot for about 20 years. I didn't know anybody else. I didn't know any other families. I didn't know there was anywhere to go. And so I was afraid it was going to happen to me. So this is actually on my refrigerator. And my daughter gave me this magnet for my refrigerator, because part of what happens to you when your life is interrupted by this kind of an injustice, it's huge. I mean, I was 23 years old and I had a 1-year-old, and it just changed me profoundly, I think. I didn't know it at the time, but when you experience that kind of injustice, you just want to fix everything. And she pretty much, I think she looks like she's made way too many cookies for way too many bake sales. And she's pretty ticked off. I still clench my teeth. But my daughter reminded me, and she gave this to me when I made a commitment to volunteer for ADAO. I actually talked to my family and I said, look, this is what I'm really going to focus on. And my daughter said, yeah, all right, Mom. Okay, so what are you going to give up? And so I thought long and hard about that, and I thought I'm going to have to start saying no. I'm going to have to start doing what's right about this for our family and for the future and for so many others. So next, volunteering with ADAO, oh, the places you'll go. The little guy on top of that spinning top is kind of how I feel sometimes after a phone call with Linda Reinstein. And I kid you not, it's really true. So here's an example. Ann, this is Linda. Hi, Linda, how are you? Oh, hi, how are you? And that cute little grandbaby that I saw on Facebook. He's so cute, you're such a good grandma. By the way, I'm going to Istanbul in 2 weeks, and I need some help with a social media campaign. And we're gonna do that movie, Breathless. Have I told you about that? Oh, by the way, could you look at the trailer clip so we could do you could maybe give me a blog on that. Okay, I'm now breathless, and I'll get the blog done. And does that mean Turkey, Istanbul, Linda? No, Ann, it's Istanbul, Turkey. Oh, okay. So she said, and I'm just concerned about my internet access. So having said that, I have met the only person I know that can talk faster than me. The only person I know. So last year, oh, the places you'll go, I went to Atlanta, Georgia, and I didn't know anybody. I don't even know what the heck I was doing on that airplane about halfway through, because I hate to fly on top of everything else. And Linda says, oh no, you need to come, you need to come, you need to come. And I'm thinking, get a life, Samuelson. You're flying to Atlanta, Georgia to go be with a bunch of people you don't even know. And I went to everything, and I sort of hung out, and then I went to this Unity brunch, and I lit a candle. And it occurred to me, I need a whole lot bigger flame than I got going on, and I better get involved with these folks because they're like a blowtorch. Actually, it's like a bonfire, and it's growing exponentially. It's huge. So my little flicker wasn't a little flicker anymore. I'm now part of a much bigger place, and there's a place for many of us in this organization because it's a platform from which we can all make something happen. The other thing I went there with, and I didn't really realize how impactful it was in my life, I went there with fear. And I'd been living with fear my entire life, which is pretty much, a mental torture situation because my dad came home with asbestos on his clothes. He was a plumber. And I remember it distinctly. And I always thought, oh, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get this. So I was always in a hurry. You make deals with yourself all the time. Oh, if I get, if this doesn't happen, I'll do this. It's kind of crazy making. And I heard Heather Von St. James talk, who, by the way, I was just telling her yesterday, I said, I think you don't understand how you changed my life. I'm not afraid anymore, I'm an advocate, because when I heard her talk, I thought I needed to be having a seatbelt in my chair. These incredible strength came from her. And then I listened to Julie Gunlock, and she was totally ticked off at her insurance company, which made me look at my insurance policy. And I thought, if I was going to war, this is who I want on my side. So I don't need to be afraid anymore. So I went from fear to advocacy, big time. Lightning speed, I got a bigger flame, and now I'm an advocate. Okay. So know that change happens when you engage in a meaningful way. Next, this slide, I have to digress a little bit. This is actually me in the rotunda in Oregon, in Salem, our state capital. In 2005, I attempted to do some legislation in which I would have made it possible for my mother to access the asbestos trust funds, because she was not ever able to do that. I was not successful after 34 days, but I gave it my best shot. And this is the headline that was in the Oregonian, which is our state newspaper, and apparently I'm the plumber. Astoria plumber finds stoppage in Salem, and I like to refer to that as our legislative process. For anybody in Oregon that's listening, thank you. Thank you. You made a memory with me, and that's kind of how legislation works. I went back again this last legislative session, just took another whirl at it, and I thought, well, I'll get every Republican to agree with me, and then I'll go for it. So all the Republicans agreed with me that they were willing to do this. It's kind of a simple fix, really. And the Democrats said, oh, no, you can't get a hearing in front of the judiciary because we'll be seen as anti-job. And I said, wait a minute. And pretty much what I found out from this state senator is she says, well, Ann, this happened a long time ago. And I said, you're an attorney, aren't you? And she said, yes. And I said, so does justice have a timeline? I'm just checking. Well, no. And I said, okay, so I'm not done. I might come back again. My mother's still alive. So it's a matter of holding people accountable and being proactive rather than reactive. Legislators are often reactive. So next, I want to come back next year, and I want to tell you that I have connected with labor, that we have worked collaboratively together on a national and local levels, and we have connected with labor so that we can get more proactive and not as reactive. There's tradespeople out there every day being exposed in the United States. You can't tell me they're not, and awareness is different than safety training. Particularly, I think, when you're talking about latent diseases. Now, here's the tough part. Anita Steiner, I got to know through Facebook. Anita lost her battle with mesothelioma on November 12th, 2011. And we used to talk sometimes on Facebook. Now, if you ever told me I'd have a real relationship on Facebook, I'd say, yeah, right. But guess what you do? Because words matter, and words are strong. She wanted her daughter, Emma, to know that she fought. And boy, did she fight for change. She taught me the value of just a few words in one of our last conversations. I thought I had more time. That's 6 words. Just 6. So stay with me just a minute. What if you only had 100 words left? Where would you place your voice, and how loud would it be? What if you only had 80 words left? Would they be courageous? What if you only had 60 words left? Would they be angry? 40 words. Who would you speak your truth to? 20 words. Would you speak them alone? And finally, when there are no words left, who will carry your story? I'm going to leave you today with 4 words that have become very important to me. Justice has no timeline. Thank you.
Keep up the good work. I look forward to the day when ADAO is no longer needed.
Fix it. Fix it. Everything in the world can be fixed.